Okay, Podsters, we're here. It's me and you. It's a quickie episode, most likely. And I'm here today to talk to you about something called toxic gratitude. And this is timely because it's Thanksgiving. And I remember last Thanksgiving, I was walking on the beach and I was overcome with this incredible wave of gratitude. It was a beautiful sunny day. I love this time of year. Thanksgiving is by far my favorite holiday. I absolutely love it. I love everything about it. I think I like it so much because as a kid, we used to have some pretty fun Thanksgivings. And then as an adult, it's a day when nothing is open or nothing used to be open. So you can't really do anything. And before there was the internet, you really couldn't do anything. You couldn't go anywhere. Nothing was open. It was forced relaxation. And I love it. I'm here for it. I love Thanksgiving for those reasons. And I also have a daily gratitude practice, which you probably know and can remember from my journal. I have a journal that I write in most mornings, and I have a spot for 3 things I'm grateful for. So gratitude is not new to me. It's not a concept that I'm not trying to be more grateful. I have this innate gratitude within me, usually. Not all day, every day, but most days. So I'm walking along the beach and I was overcome with this incredible feeling of gratitude. And at the same time, a few minutes later, I started thinking about what I want for my business in the coming year and what I want for my life in the coming year and what I want that year to look like. And I caught myself before I could shame myself or before I could say, you should be grateful you have so much. I am grateful. I have more than many people. I am grateful for my health. I'm grateful for a lot of things. I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful for my family, my friends. And I remember thinking to myself, you can be grateful and want more. So I filmed this little reel and it was about I am grateful and also is a big deal over here at Unmute Yourself, the podcast. So this got me thinking. I've been thinking because we're coming up on Thanksgiving. It's in 2 days and everybody's starting with the hashtag grateful and all of that. And I think it's important. And I think it's a wonderful time of year. And I think everybody loves to be grateful around Thanksgiving. It is when that gratitude isn't sincere or when you are being shamed into being, quote, grateful, or you're being in a situation that is about toxic gratitude, which really, if you think about it, is a form of gaslighting. So I'm going to jump in here and talk a little bit about what I mean. And I'm hesitant always to jump into I call it the corporate bingo speak, or the corporate speak, quiet quitting, the great resignation, quiet cutting, quiet thriving, all of the expressions. And I heard this toxic gratitude. I actually heard it on a Mel Robbins podcast. As you know, if it's me, there's either Mel Robbins or Brene Brown is going to be quoted. So I listened to this podcast and I went back to it because I wanted to get a little more information for you all and have a little more reference points. So she was talking about toxic gratitude. And I said, that's a really good way to put it. It's gratitude that is fake. It is gratitude that is being used either on you or by you to manipulate behavior. It is gratitude that is also shaming at the same time. And I want to be really clear because when I posted this reel last year, I got a lot of feedback. I was actually stunned at how many notes and comments I got from people saying, thank you so much for saying this. You can be grateful and want more. You can be grateful for your marriage and at the same time know that it's time to move on. You can be grateful for a friend that you've known for years and also want to spend less time with them. You can be grateful that you get a paycheck, but because a lot of people don't, you can be grateful about that and also know it's time for a new job. So Mel's episode, and I'll put a link in the show notes, she talks about six different ways that toxic gratitude shows up. And I'm going to focus on 3. So the first one is when you use gratitude to focus on the good and you completely ignore a big steaming mess that's in front of you. So it's kind of like Cleopatra, Queen of Denial. You're over focused on all this gratitude and you ignore the serious mess that's in front of you, or the serious situation, difficulty, issue, whatever the case may be, that's in front of you. So that's one way that it shows up. Another one is, and I see this so much in what I do with my private one-on-one clients. By the way, there's an application in the show notes. I have one spot left for my 3-month private coaching. It's a quick application. It'll take you like, I don't know, a minute. And then we hop on the phone to make sure it's a good fit for you. So this is when you use your gratitude or your forced gratitude or even sincere gratitude to stay stuck. So you use it to do nothing, such as, well, he provides for me and he doesn't cheat on me. So even though it's a loveless marriage, I'll stay. Or, wow, I have an excellent job. And this happened with me in my career. I have a great job and I am so grateful for this job. I get to see the world. I get to meet new people. I get to experience new cultures. I'm making good money. And I still want more. So if it's when you use that gratitude to shut down your own wanting of more. And like I said, I get this a lot with my private clients. They will say, well, how can I leave this job? It's such a great job. I'm so grateful for this job. And I'm grateful for the opportunity. And I'm grateful for my 20-year career, 10-year career, whatever the case may be. You can be grateful and also know that it's time for a change. It's not a divorce, it's a graduation. This is in your career. And then the last, and this happens so much, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I'm going to put a question. If you're listening on Spotify, there's a polling question, and I'm going to put a question about this in there. Toxic gratitude, the third one I want to focus on, is when you use it as a way to knock yourself down when you accomplish something. And I'll never forget this. I have a friend from when I was teaching at BU a while ago. I had a friend who was teaching a leadership class, and it was a leadership class. I think it might have been women. It might have been women in leadership. And he wanted me to come speak to the class. And he and I would talk often about how women oftentimes can be self-deprecating, or humble, not really step into our accomplishments. And one of my pet peeves is when somebody congratulates a female on a job well done, or where they are in life or their career, or whatever the case may be. And their response is, oh, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. Sure, there's a little bit of luck, or there's a little bit of fortune, or there's a little bit of blessing, or a little bit of, I'm going to say luck. There's a little bit of luck that you were born where you were born, when you were born, when you had the advantages that you had. And at the same time, I'm sure you worked hard for whatever that reward is, or whatever it is that you're being congratulated on. So back to my story. So he invites me to come talk to this class, and I can't even believe this. He talks about my career, and I had a pretty robust resume, and he lists through all my accomplishments, and they say, tell me about your career. And I said, well, I've been lucky. I've been lucky. And I looked over at him and I couldn't believe it. I said, I can't believe I just said that. Sure, there's a little bit of fortune, if you will, or there's a little bit of right timing, right place, right time. And also I worked damn hard to get where I got and to get where I am. So yes, there is the opportunities that I've been afforded because of where I live, because of who I am, because of the color of my skin, because of the country I'm in. Absolutely. Yes. And that's the luck of the draw. I could have been born anywhere. And also I worked hard to get where I am. So when I say lucky, when I was saying lucky, I was self-deprecating and I was minimizing my accomplishments. And that was toxic gratitude. I'm just grateful to be here, which we are. And also we worked hard. So that's a lot to unpack. Hopefully you're thinking about this a little bit. So here's what I want to suggest. A couple of things. The first is that some people are not grateful around Thanksgiving. As I mentioned, it's my favorite holiday. I love it. There are turkeys everywhere in my house, pumpkins, glitter, everything, you name it. I love Thanksgiving. And I also realize that not everybody does. I know a lot of people who are estranged from their family, and this is a very difficult holiday for them. And also, this is the kickoff to the holiday season, which is very difficult for a lot of people. So I suggest that, and I know you won't do this. Those of you who listen to this podcast, you're the best. You're the best. I don't have to worry about you or what you're saying. I would say be mindful that not everybody is as excited about the holiday or is as grateful. Some people simply aren't. They can't find that gratitude within them, and that's okay. That's personal. That's their personal choice. So what I would suggest is that you start a sentence and you say, I'm grateful and also, or I'm grateful and think about what comes up with that and, because that's going to tell you what that change is that you've been avoiding, or maybe it's subconscious, or maybe you're not ready, and that's cool. Or maybe you think I'm grateful and also, and you can't think of anything else, and you are just swimming in gratitude, and that's awesome. You're good. You're good. Provided that there's not a sinking feeling after you say that, such as I'm grateful, and I'm just going to be grateful. I'm not going to rock the boat. That's what we want to avoid. So I want you to say that sentence to yourself, see what comes up, see what happens, and take it from there. That's your call to action. One of the things that Mel recommends, and again, I'll put the link in the show notes, is to say, I'm thankful. If saying you're grateful makes you feel like you have to stop there, maybe you say you're thankful. I'm thankful for a lot of things. You can be thankful and state what else it is that you're looking for, or what your next step is, or, I want to give you all permission and encourage you to be grateful and that's it. That's it, Podsters. Here's what I'm grateful for. I am incredibly grateful about this community. I am so grateful. I know a lot of you are sharing these episodes, because our viewership, whatever the case may be, it is absolutely skyrocketed, particularly in the past few weeks. So I would be very grateful if you continue to share an episode that you think will resonate with someone. Maybe it's this one, maybe it's a previous one. I have a number in my head. We're at about 8,200 downloads right now, and I want to get to 10,000 by the end of the year. So that's 1,800 listeners, new listeners, or 1,800 plays of one of these. I think we're at 75, 76 podcasts. So if there's one that you like and you'd like to share it with somebody, I would be very grateful for that. That will help our numbers grow. There is nothing I get. This is simply a challenge that I have given to myself, mostly so that I don't coast through the rest of the year, because I wrapped up my last speaking gig and now I get to double down and work on my foundations. So here's what's in store for you for the next few weeks. I'd say the next 5 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks. We have the Did the Thing mini series. So I'm going to release a second podcast every week. It's going to come out on Thursdays. And these are very short vignettes with people that I interview who did the thing. So these are people that had a dream, they had a passion, and they put the work in, they put together their plan, and they did the thing. And this is their stories and their advice. It's something new I'm trying. I think it's going to be pretty cool. I've already recorded a couple of them. So I encourage you to hit follow if you haven't yet, so you'll get notified when those come up. Those are going to come out on Thursdays. And I think that's it. I have a couple of programs coming up. I have speaker school starting in January. If you want to be on stage and you want to hone your speaker craft, it's 3 sessions. We're going to finish in a month, and you're going to be locked and loaded to speak. You're going to have your signature keynote. You're going to have some marketing materials. You're going to have your prospecting plan. It's a really great program. And then my Do the Thing retreat is going virtual, and we ride at dawn on January 5th. So if that's something that interests you, that'll be in the show notes. Other than that, my podsters, so much gratitude for all of you that I've met, those of you I haven't met yet, for sharing the information, for supporting each other and empowering each other. This is how we make the change. This is how we do it, one person at a time. So thank you. Peace out and happy Thanksgiving.